Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And I think it's Wednesday. Hard to keep track of the days during COVID, isn't it? Yeah. I hope you're well. I hope that you are persevering. I hope that you're being kind to yourselves. I've been having a thought this morning I thought I would share with you, and then a quick announcement. So, the thought I'm having is, do you actually think that we realize, individually and as a world community, do you think we actually realize how big this shift is that we're in the middle of? I had to think for myself, I don't think I really got it. I don't think I really got it. And that's probably for the best because the largeness of what we're being asked to shift into is on every single level. So the only people who are really dimmed on it, who don't have to pay that much attention to it, are the very wealthy who don't care. There are very wealthy people who do care. So it is the uncaring, very wealthy who can distance themselves from the whole situation in certain ways. I mean, maybe they can't go out to their favorite restaurant. Maybe that favorite restaurant closed, or maybe they're funding that favorite restaurant. I don't know. For the rest of us, this is a financial shift. This is a relationship shift, a spiritual shift, a career shift, a work shift, a living shift. It is a shift on every level at once. And I'm reminded of a time in my life when I was asked to fill out one of those forms to check off all the things that cause stress, divorce, death, um, moving, homelessness, um, change of job, things like that. And I was able to check off like four or five of them, which is not a great sign. And I'm reminded of that. And so this is what we're going through right now. And what is really asked of us, I think, more than anything, is for us to learn to be flexible, for us to learn to think creatively so that we can move with these changes. Because if we cannot move with the changes asked of us, we will not have a very good time, to put it mildly. We will not be in a place where we can find the solutions that we need. We will not be able to handle the stress of being in a space where we don't know where our next meal is coming from, or we don't know where the job is coming from, or we don't know where the next where the next hug is coming from. So the question that I've had for myself this morning is, Lori, do you realize how big this is? And I think I get it. I get it on the next level at least. And so the question is, once you've gotten it, what does that mean? What are you supposed to do with that information? What are you supposed to do once you go, oh my God, it's not just a bad time that we're moving through. It is the transformation time. What do we do with that information? Literally. I mean, as a spiritually based person, I can come into all kinds of ideas, and they're not wrong ideas. They're very powerful and potent ideas that have to do with we are in the goo of the cocoon before we emerge as a butterfly. But the fact is that even though we are definitely in the transformational goo, or we are the transformational goo, we don't know what's coming. And that's where the power is lying, as far as I see it this morning. And as far, honestly, as I may have ever at all clearly, even if it was only this much clarity, but it's how I've seen it. There is a place where we are able to have an impact in our lives and change the way that we move through our lives, change the way that our lives respond to us. And that place is not in saying, you will do what I want you to do, life, and wrestling it to the ground and making it do this thing. It's also not in consistently saying, this whole situation scares the snot out of me, which, yes, it does me. Honestly, it does. The whole situation of what we're in, it gets pretty dispiriting to me. But we have to move from that into, okay, where does my power lie? Where does it lie? What can I do? And I think the big invitation, the overweening invitation of this time, is to think creatively and to be flexible and to deepen our kindness to ourselves, because this is not easy. It occurred to me last night that if everything somehow magically went back to the way it was, it still wouldn't be the way it was. And what I mean is, think how many places, how many businesses have closed down because they just couldn't go on. They just couldn't keep going. So even if we went back, we would still need to be flexible. We would still need to think creatively. We would still need to look at what is and imagine what can be. We would need to work with each other, hold each other's hands to move forward. I know this is scary stuff. And that is what this time calls from us, is an ability to respond to that scary stuff in ways that are almost warrior-like, not injury warrior, not like let's kill each other warrior, but to be tough, to say, I may feel these scary feelings, or I may feel this or that, and I'm still going to move forward. I'm still going to walk forward. I'm still going to make it work. And that is what my group, the Courageous Confidence Group, is all about. It's a place where we look at what it takes to be courageous. We look at what builds our ability to walk into the new and be flexible and see things differently and create new lives for ourselves. And I invite you to join us. It's in Facebook and it's called Courageous Confidence Group. And I encourage you. If you already are in it and you're watching, thank you. Thank you for being here, because what we need as humans, we need people like you who are able and willing and strong enough to look at what is, to not spend 24/7 in revolt against it, in terms of saying it's not happening, the sky is not falling, and then be able to look at what are possibilities, what are the possibilities for as we move forward, and being willing to understand and learn that we do this together. We literally do this together. And so that the work that we do alone with our own consciousness becomes less lonely, less scary, less bizarre to our minds that have become accustomed to running away and accustomed to distracting ourselves, whether it's food or TV or alcohol or whatever it is. So that's what happens in this amazing group. And I encourage you who are not in it to come join us. And the other thing, the announcement that I talked about, is that I'm going to be giving a course each week. I'll be giving an hour-long course each week. Haven't decided on the day yet, but I'm going to be doing that starting next week, which would be, as I'm recording this, it's the 15th. It's our new tax day. And so this would be sometime the week of the 20th through the 24th. So I look forward to seeing you, and I wish you a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. I will see you later, and I ask you just to be kind to yourself. Bye.